Starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Dan Hagan. Today on Up North at 4, Jeff and I will look at more fall pictures, plus a nasty lightning strike from last night. Then we will head over to Northwoods Pets in Rhinelander and learn how to shop for pet food. And we'll step into Buffy's Northwoods kitchen and learn how to make buttermilk biscuits. We'll get to all of that in a bit, but first here's your top 4 at 4. A Hodag statue was stolen from a local restaurant this weekend, and it's still not returned. Rhinelander Cafe and Pub posted this on its Facebook page, saying one of its Green Bay Packer Hodags was stolen late Saturday night. It looks kind of like this one, but without the helmet. You should reach out to the restaurant if you know any details about it, though I will say a lot of rumors are floating around right now. Trick-or-treating was on our mind yesterday, so I made a lot of phone calls today to see what different communities are doing this year. Rhinelander has yet to decide, but the City Council will discuss it at Monday's meeting. Downtown Minocqua trick-or-treating is still kind of on, though many businesses are not participating, including all of the ones inside Gaslight Square. Eagle River and Three Lakes are both doing drive-through trick-or-treating through its Lions Club. Wausau has its normal 4 to 7 hours, though city leaders are discouraging participation. We are in new COVID territory here in the Northwoods. Cases are on the rise, including a new daily record high in Oneida County, 33 new cases. In total, there are 2 deaths and more than 100 active cases in Oneida County. Surrounding counties are going up as well. We will have more data for you tonight at 5 and 6. Emerald ash borer has been found in 6 new Wisconsin counties this year. The latest is Price County. This morning, the DNR reported an EAB detection in Park Falls. EAB has already been discovered in Florence and Shawano counties this year. EAB is an invasive beetle which attacks all species of ash trees. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joins us now. Jeff, a rainy day out there today.
Yeah, hey Dan, and this is happening fast, by the way. This is the fall color report right now. Most of us are getting close to 50%, even above that along Highway 8 north of there. And this is what that looks like. By the way, it's a bit ahead of schedule compared with last season. Great photos coming in. Dan will have more of these in a minute or two, but keep the photos coming. Weather photo at WJFW.com. There are some beautiful pictures out there right now. But this rain will take down a lot of leaves. It did last night with a couple of thunderstorms around. And look what those storms did. We had a burst of rain here in Rhinelander, 1.71 inches of rain. Florence, 1.58. Eagle River, 1.5. So a healthy rainfall generally along and north of Highway 8 last night. But we are not done with the rain. This is a graphical map of where the heaviest rain fell last night. So here we are, basically parts of Oneida County, into Vilas County, Florence County too. But today, the rain showers are still out there, and here they are across parts of central Wisconsin. And there are a couple pockets of heavy rain in here right now from a very slow-moving system across Wisconsin today. So we'll get some more rain showers for a few more hours this evening and before this thing kind of pulls out of here tonight. Then we'll get a break for many hours tomorrow, followed by our next system getting in here tomorrow evening, which could also bring another round of locally strong to severe storms tomorrow night. But for right now, the back edge of the clouds is right across western Wisconsin. This will pull through this evening. We'll keep things probably partly cloudy to mostly cloudy throughout the day tomorrow before more storms get in here tomorrow evening. But the rain is locally heavy across parts of central Wisconsin right now. So let's talk about tomorrow night. So tonight, or right now, there's still rain showers out there. We'll dry out tonight, followed by more storms tomorrow evening. Those storms could once again be strong, especially along and north of Highway 8. Temperatures, though, today, we're back in the low 60s. Yeah, but we're not going to stay there as we have quite a cold front coming our way. You ready? Here we go. So 72 for tomorrow, 72 for Saturday, and then right downtown, those are 40s for highs next week, Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to feel a lot like fall around here. Your forecast for tonight, though, is rain ending out there now. Low temperatures down to 57. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock.
For our seniors, Social Security is a sacred obligation, a sacred promise made. The current president is threatening to break that promise. He's proposing to eliminate a tax that pays for almost half the Social Security without any way of making up for that lost revenue. I will not let that happen. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Everyone sleeps at Tomahawk Furniture and Gun with prices so low you'll have to bend over to see them. Prices that'll make your eyes pop out. Want to sleep watching TV? Check out our recliners. You want to pass out face first in a sofa? Check out our sofas. And beds. We've got beds. Check us out. Prices so low you'll think we're crazy. Because everyone sleeps at Tomahawk Furniture and Gun.
Transform your home's exterior with simple updates from Menards. Larson storm doors and windows let in the fresh air and help you save on your energy costs. Plus, they protect your home from wind and storm damage. With available features like screen-away technology, click and hold closing systems, and high-performance low-E insulated glass. Save 11% off our entire selection of Larson storm doors and windows at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Tom Tiffany, and this is my mom.
Hi.
Growing up helping Mom can pickles taught me the value of hard work, frugality, and the importance of preserving our way of life. Like these, we've all felt some pressure lately. That's why I've been working to save Wisconsin jobs, helping families make ends meet, keeping the economy moving, while protecting those bottled up at home.
Well, that's sweet, Tom.
I thought these were dill.
Oh.
I'm Tom Tiffany, and I approve this message.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. Jeff, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm a little bit in suspense right now because I just don't know what this show is about today.
Yeah, I just refuse to tell you. I want to keep you on your toes.
No, he had the show in the computer, but it was labeled the wrong day.
Right, I said Friday instead. It feels like Friday. I feel like the weekend should be tomorrow.
It does feel like Friday.
But we had a pretty crazy night last night.
Wasn't that
with
cool?
lightning storms.
That was spectacular.
Everyone in the newsroom was saying, hey, how did you make it through the storms last night? Did you wake up often? I slept right through it. I didn't even notice it.
You slept through that?
Yeah, I slept through it.
What?
But let's take a look at a picture here. This is from Harshaw, Wisconsin, from Mitch. Look at that large white pine that's completely decimated. Thanks, Mitch, for
there was one severe warned storm last night in central Vilas County. A few reports of wind gusts from 40 to 50 miles per hour, and that's what that will do, especially the pine trees around here after a lot of rainfall as they become very kind of uneven, right?
That's scary stuff. Well, I see a lot of green in that photo, but colors are changing, as you mentioned during your weather report. We're about 50% in the Northwoods, right?
Yeah, we're averaging. If Paul can take max 1, I have that up there as well. We're right at, this is as of today, right across the area, about 50% is the yellow area. And then the orange, of course, is kind of getting closer to peak. This is about a week ahead of last year, right?
Okay.
So it's happening very quickly across the area. Now, if you travel even down the central Wisconsin, still leaves are changing quickly. So
I feel like this is the weekend to go on that fall drive, to go canoeing, go walking, biking.
And you know why? It's because we have not had a lot of wind yet. We had the rain last night. It took down some leaves, right? But this has not been that windy yet. So the leaves are still up in the trees, and that's likely going to change probably Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with a series of storms coming our way next week.
Well, we got some photos as well we're going to show you guys. Here's our first one. This is from Agnes and Rhinelander. It's a beautiful red tree right there. I wish I knew the name of the tree.
We should play Name That Tree.
Maybe maple. I'm gonna get skewered if I try to guess trees. All right, to our next picture here. This is from Edward near Crandon. Another beautiful photo.
But you can see, I mean, there you go. We're at 50 to 60%, right? I mean, we're there right now. So get out this weekend if you can.
And our next one here, this is from Joanne in Phelps. I think she's from Phelps. Another beautiful photo there.
Joanne,
I was trying to track down
if you're not from Phelps.
her address there. But let's go to our next one. And this one is from Patricia in Tomahawk. So like you said, Jeff, beautiful colors out there right now.
Yeah, I'm getting lots of people saying they're especially vibrant this year. So I can't really think back to last couple years, and I can't give you an idea of that, but certainly they're changing ahead of schedule compared to last year.
Okay, cool. Well, anything else, Jeff, before we
I'm having deep thoughts today, so what do you got for me?
We'll have more thoughts at the end of the show. We're going to wrap up this block. We're going to go to the commercial, and we're going to go to Northwoods Pets next, and then after that, we will be heading to Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen. Stay with us.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Kitchen Bath Mart.
There are never enough hours in the day. I'm always making trade-offs, sacrifices. but I'll keep going. Even when it feels like there's no way I can do it all, I won't give up. I'm doing this for me and for them. We're doing this together. North Central Technical College's virtual college, flexible learning, because our time is precious.
I've spent better than half my life and most of my adult life, in the military. 2016, I voted for Donald Trump. Leaders are responsible for everything their organization does or fails to do. When I saw those commercials about, this is what a Biden presidency will bring. No, this is what you have brought. Everything that we have going on today, that's on you. Joe Biden is the first Democrat I'll vote for president. You want a commander-in-chief you can trust, and I think you can trust Joe Biden.
ABPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Need new windows? Know that Exquisite Windows and Doors in Shawano sells the highest quality windows for less. Call now or visit highestqualitywindows.com to get a free estimate. Know there's a huge difference between vinyl windows versus our made-for-Wisconsin weather-resistant windows. Our windows will bring out the beauty of your home and come with a lifetime warranty. It's our 2020 sale. Save 20% on labor and all products. Call Exquisite Windows and Doors now or visit highestqualitywindows.com.
Welcome to Up North at 4. This is What's Up for Your Pets. I'm here at Northwoods Pets in Rhinelander with Jennifer Marshall, the owner. Jennifer, let's talk today about how to choose pet food for your pets. What's good pet food? What's bad pet food?
Well, it's kind of like it follows with human food. You want to be careful with saying good versus bad, but it's usually kind of a good, better, best. And when looking at your pet foods, you want to consider a lot of the factors when you're reading the label. So just like reading a label on your people food, you want to read the labels of your pet food. So in general, the biggest things that they highlight on pet foods is going to be protein, fat, fiber. Okay. You'll notice one of the things that's really lacking on that is carbs. And we'll talk a little bit about the carb situation. But I've always said primarily the things that you want to avoid when picking a pet food is corn, wheat, and soy, mostly because they're cheap fillers. So if you look at your first 5 ingredients on a pet food, those 5 ingredients make up about 80 to 85% of the food itself, just like with people food. Okay, so if you see corn, wheat, or soy anywhere in those first 5, I wouldn't get it because it's just cheap filler. Okay, next you look at your protein sources. So with proteins, meat is best, but there's also meat meal. And a lot of times people will think meal is a negative thing because they interpret it to be, like byproducts, more or less. As long as the source is specified, meal is actually better than fresh meat in a kibble-based dog food. Why? Because meat in and of itself is mostly water. So when they cook that dog food, those flesh-based meats are going to cook down to nothing. So it might say, oh, look, it's got 30% of, protein from animal sources, but that's before it's cooked. And so once it's cooked, it really drops because all that water bakes off. The first ingredient you typically want to be your regular meat, but your second, third should be a meat meal. So it could be beef meal, chicken meal, fish meal, salmon meal, doesn't matter. But meal is already dehydrated. So when you balance that against the regular meat, your protein count is going to be fairly static. So if they say it has a certain percentage of protein and it's based on the meals, that's not going to decrease in the cooking process. Okay. You want to look at the first 2 to 3 ingredients should be meat-based, meat and meal. And then you want to look at your carb sources. So again, determining carb content of your dog food is difficult. They don't list it. There are calculators online, that you can plug in all the numbers and it'll tell you what the carb content is. But that's a lot of math. So generally what you want to do is focus on low glycemic carbs. So just like with people, dogs can be diabetic. You don't want to go with your high glycemic carbs. So again, by eliminating your corn and your wheat, those are two of the highest glycemic carbs out there. If you just focus then on low glycemic carbs like oats, barley, sweet potato, chickpeas, lentils, all of those sorts of lower glycemic carb sources, you don't have to go grain-free. You know, corn and wheat-free, by all means. Grain-free, not necessarily, unless if you really have a dog that has allergies to all grains, well then by all means go grain-free. But most of our dogs can have grains, but just pick the low glycemic grains. The last thing that you want to look at as far as picking out your dog food is the probiotics. Probiotics are really important for health of all animals. Helps your gut, helps the digestion. The problem then again is what type of probiotics are being used in your pet food. So if you have types of bacteria, the good bacteria, that can't survive the cooking process, can't survive the intestinal tract, by the time it gets into that bag of food and your dog eats it, it's not going to hit their system where it needs to be. And you think they're getting all these good probiotics, but they're not, which is why some people may choose to then actually supplement with a probiotic treat. But there are foods out there that include very good human-grade probiotics that are easily utilized by the dog system. So, in wrapping up, basically, one of the brands that we carry that meets all of these criteria and why I love it so much is the Nulo. And Nulo has the low glycemic carbs. It has the good meals and the proteins. It has the proper protein concentrations, you know, as you want, say, a 30% protein, 20% fat balance for your typical dog dietary needs. People will often say, oh, but it's more expensive. I don't want to pay that much. But if you're considering that bag of food that you're getting that might be $5 or $10 a bag cheaper, again, read the labels. If you're seeing, oh, this great food has all this meat up front and you're paying less, but you might be paying for a bag that's 90% water and filler. So you're getting more concentrated nutrition with the Nulo, you're getting the good probiotics, and you're getting more bang for your buck in the end. Plus, of course, we like to add in that Nulo being one of our favorite brands, we do offer lots of discounts and promos for Nulo. But regardless if you purchase Nulo or any other brand, just be sure that you're reading labels in a smart way. And if you have any further questions on what's a good food, is this food that I'm feeding my dog meeting these criteria, we welcome people. Bring in the label of the dog food that you're currently feeding. We may tell you, hey, that's a great food, go on with it. Or we may say, you know, a better choice might be this brand. And then you make your informed decision.
Okay, thank you so much, Jenna, for joining us here on Up North at 4. We'll be right back after a few messages.
As a senior enlisted Navy SEAL, I'm a tradesman. I worked with my hands my whole life. I've supported myself since I was 16. Ron Kind's trade is politics for 23 years. He trades your tax dollars to Nancy Pelosi and the liberal elites for power and influence, and even backed giving illegal immigrants $1,200. Well, that's ridiculous. It's time to trade in Ron Kind. It's time to send a SEAL to Washington. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
It's a off for the greatest trophy in sports. Lightning. Stars. There's nothing like the Stanley Cup Final. Friday and Saturday nights on NBC.
You are the weakest link.
Jane Lynch hosts The Weakest Link, Tuesday on NBC.
Goodbye.
Tomahawk Sports Center is Northern Wisconsin's one-stop shop for UTVs, ATVs, snowmobiles, boats, and motors, watercraft, docks, and waterfront equipment with a large selection of products like Ski-Doo, Sea-Doo, Can-Am ATV and UTVs, Manitou and Godfrey pontoons, Alumacraft fishing boats, Evinrude Service Honda and Yamaha outboards. Tomahawk Sports Center is your next stop for fun. A family-run business with a long history of personal service before and after the sale. When you think fun in the Northwoods, think Tomahawk Sports Center.
Huge auction, Lake Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Kubota tractor with loader, like new Polaris Ranger, sawmill, large amounts of tools, home contents, and more. Contact Brass and St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen on Up North at 4 is brought to you by Bassett Jewelers and Engraving and LDF Country Market in Lac du Flambeau.
Welcome to Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen. On today's menu, from scratch buttermilk biscuits. After you have this recipe, you won't go back to the tube ever again. I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. In here is 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 cup-ish of buttermilk, and 1 stick of cold butter that's been cut into cubes. And all we're gonna do is dump in the flour and the baking soda, baking powder, sugar, and just mix that together with your hands till it's blended. And now you're going to take your chunks of butter and drop those in, and with a pastry cutter or your hands or 2 forks, you're just going to cut that butter into this flour until it resembles like coarse sand or like really rough ground cornmeal. And it doesn't matter if there's still a few chunks of butter in there, but you don't want any big cubes, because the butter in there is what's going to make your biscuits really nice and flaky. And now we're just going to sort of make a hole in the middle and dump that buttermilk in, and just take a mixing spoon and mix it all together. Liberally dust your work surface with flour and dump it out. And it doesn't really matter that it's not holding together like this, because you're going to work it so it does hold together. And you're going to want to end up with a circle or a rectangle or whatever it is, about 1 inch thick. Instead of using a cutter, because I like to just use my handy dandy knife, because that way you don't have all those trim pieces that the more you roll it out and mix it together, the tougher it gets. All you're going to do is put your biscuits on a pan, and I am just lucky enough to happen to have this really cool cast iron griddle pan, and these are going to go into a 425 degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. And in 12 to 15 minutes, before you know it, you have warm, fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen. Cook on, my friends.
If I'm your president, on day one, we'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll develop and deploy rapid tests with results available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. We'll make them here in America. We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning. Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect America. And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Ta-da! Did you know Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Given my unique lifestyle, that'd be perfect. Let me grab a pen and some paper. Know what? I'm gonna switch now. Just need my desk, my chair, and my phone. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
As we say goodbye to winter and greet spring, it's the ideal time for an ISA-certified arborist to prep your Northwoods land for warm weather fun. Custom caretaking and landscaping is equipped with a 90-foot spider lift to assist with tree service needs.
When unexpected home projects come along, use the Home Advisor app and instantly book an appointment online with a top-rated pro. Be prepared for whatever home projects come your way. Download the free Home Advisor app today.
When I was growing up, my dad worked at a paper mill like this. And my mom worked in a restaurant in town. Together, they earned enough to raise 6 kids. So after serving in the Navy and as a police officer, I want to make things easier for working families. As we rebuild our economy, I'll ensure that small businesses get the funding they need. And I'll invest more in job training, because while college might not be for everyone, a good paying job should be.
Paul Petrusky for State Senate.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. Let's take a look at some stories that are going on today at 5 and 6. We're going to do one on this intersection. Jeff, you know where we are with this intersection?
That's the roundabout.
That is the famous roundabout.
That caused a lot of stress 2 years ago.
It did. Actually, just a little more than a year ago, actually, it was installed. So we're going to kind of do a recap on that. And we're going to discuss kind of what's the safety implications of those about a year after the installation and how people are still adjusting to it. Okay. So we're going to talk about that as well as a Medford referendum. Jeff, what do we have to look forward to in weather?
Well, I'm curious what you had for a snack today.
Well, I had a...
All right, weather-wise, we're good. So we're going to start clearing out tonight. Tomorrow morning, pretty good. But tomorrow evening, once again, another round of probably loud thunderstorms back in the area.
Oh, geez, okay.
Some of those could be strong, locally severe, lots of lightning again. Last night was a light show for sure.
Didn't see it like I said, right? Like I said. We'll see more from Jeff at 5 and 6.